It's August 20th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR and the Treasury Titans. Well, it's another day. It is Wednesday, and we have some things to talk about because obviously, if you've bought MSTR over the past really year, you're not super excited about the recent price action. Well, we've been here before, and those people that understand the fundamentals and stay strong will be rewarded, in my opinion. But of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. I just truly believe in Michael Saylor, in strategy, in Bitcoin as the underlying thesis of the entire strategy. If you don't, there are options. If you do, just sit back, relax, and not saying it's fun, but we can ride this out together. Now, let's start by having a little post from Jeff Walton. MSTR fundamentals are incredibly strong. Thesis is unchanged. I'd continue to argue that risk is mispriced globally with the introduction of digital capital and Bitcoin-backed securities. Bitcoin could fall another 50% from here, and MSTR would be less leveraged than a typical S&P 500 company. Also, with Bitcoin at 113K, MSTR is sitting on a $3 billion gain from Bitcoin holdings in Q3. Fortitude Vincimus. Maybe it's Vinkimus. I think it's Vincimus. What it translates to is, by endurance, we conquer. By endurance, we conquer. And here's the details right here. You can see the actual leverage and then this is the Q3 MSTR earnings analysis pro forma. Because as you can see, Q2 Bitcoin price closed at 107,000. I can remember being on live with you when that happened. A lot of you were there on a live call with me. So we're still way above the Q2 price close. And it's looking good. It's looking good in a lot of areas, even though there's been a lot of negative sentiment in other areas as well. So let's keep driving forward with the Bitcoin therapist who says nothing screams bottom signal like the entire internet calling Michael Saylor a fraud and calling strategy a Ponzi. Everyone sitting on the sidelines wants to see strategy fail, and that is exactly why they will succeed. Be greedy when others are fearful. And I really think this is an important concept to understand, is that almost everybody is on the sidelines right now. 98%+ of people are on the sidelines. And when you're on the sidelines, you are rooting for something you missed out on, the FOMO that you have to fail, because you want to be vindicated. You want to be proven right. So people are rooting for strategy to fail because they missed it, because they still don't understand it. They miss Bitcoin, they miss strategy, they'll miss future things. And because of that, they want it to fail. It's something really important to just remember. This is a good little combo post. Matt Cole posts, many have a fundamentally flawed understanding of what this seemingly simple chart means and why the strategy works. Riddle me this. How does MSTR have only a 1.54 MNAV, yet its total return has outperformed Bitcoin by 3.5x since adopting Bitcoin? And here's MSTR, 101%, but a total of 3,100% return. And then Bitcoin's at 885%. So that's a 3.5x. And then Matt follows this up by saying, if strategy stock dropped another 35% while Bitcoin stayed flat, MNAV would go down to 1. Yet strategy's total return stopping is Bitcoin strategy would still have outperformed Bitcoin itself by over 2x. Understanding why is important. And then Ragnar followed up. It's the velocity of accretive accumulation equal Bitcoin yield, not the MNAV, that's relevant to understand the total return outperformance. So Ragnar, of course, nailed it. Matt Cole said bingo, because that's what the important thing is here, the accretive accumulation of Bitcoin yield. So as I've been sitting on my MSTR shares since August of last year, what has strategy been doing? They've been increasing my Bitcoin yield every single time they purchase. Every single purchase, every single investment in Bitcoin they make, the underlying value of that my shares have of Bitcoin yield is higher. Period. End of story. That's why it's important. Now, Anthony says, oh no, Bitcoin is crashing to prices not seen since last month. And then he has a little rolling his eyes emoji. Because guess what? Anthony's seen this before. I've seen this before. Many of you have seen this before. Jeff says, there's a $600 trillion market that's up for grabs, and people are tripping over 7 words in a 100-page earnings call presentation. Give me a break. Well, Jeff, you know it and I know it. People out there, they are bears, they are fudders, they are short the stock and trying to spread fear, or they're on the sidelines and they hate themselves for missing this, what is an incredibly obvious generational wealth opportunity, and they're bitter, period. Ragnar says, Saylor just reposted this. Let's go. And this is exactly why, by the way, I now have changed the name of this channel to MSTR and the Treasury Titans, because Michael Saylor, he supports every other Bitcoin strategy, every other Bitcoin treasury company that's out there, because we're all winning together. So H100, they just purchased an additional 102 Bitcoin at an average price of blah, blah, blah. So they now hold over 911 Bitcoin. So a small Bitcoin treasury company by strategy standards, but Michael Saylor is rooting them on because he knows that we all win together. So good job, H100. Way to go. And then I wanted to share this video here because I just think we all need sometimes a little comic relief in our lives. So just sit back and enjoy this.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
All right. Hope you enjoyed that. And I have an epic Michael Saylor video clip coming up for you right now. You're not going to want to miss. PayPal just made it official. They're letting U.S. merchants accept Bitcoin. That's not just a news story. It's a sign of where things are going, and it raises a critical question. If the world is shifting toward Bitcoin, are you doing enough to participate? Because here's a powerful way to go further. Convert an old 401k or IRA into a crypto IRA with the help of Bit IRA. Bit IRA will help you convert it free of taxes or penalties. And here's why you'll love them. End-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the U.S. government. And it's fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without taxes incurred on any buys or sells. If you already put money into an IRA or employer-sponsored 401k on a regular basis, why not invest into a Bitcoin IRA each month? Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Again, that's bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin.
Oh, these are the best performing bonds in the world. All the MicroStrategy bonds have doubled in value. Okay, how many other bonds? There is no corporate bond. There's no sovereign bond. There's no other type of bond or no preferred stock you can buy where you buy it for 100, it'll be worth 220 a few months later, right? So these are the best performing bonds in the world. It's like they've got the downside protection and they make money. So those people have fixed income funds. They have $100 trillion in those things. They have to buy that. And then they need a company like MicroStrategy that has a 100% Bitcoin treasury to create that bond. Mm-hmm. See, you can't create a bond that doubles in value over 8 weeks if you're not 100% Bitcoin. If Berkshire Hathaway sold the same bond and they were backed by $100 billion of T-bills, well, okay, it's zero coupon, it's convertible, but it's like, what's the point? The bond has no option value in it. The T-bills have a vol of 5, and MicroStrategy has a vol of 100. Okay, so they've got no electricity in their bonds. So MicroStrategy is the leading issuer of Bitcoin-backed bonds in the world, and there's $300 trillion in the fixed income market that they can only buy bonds. But if you're going to buy bonds, wouldn't you like the lowest risk, highest performing bonds? MicroStrategy has the most interesting, highest performing, most liquid securities. Why? Because we're volatile, right? We got 100 100 volatility oscillator in the middle of the company. We oscillate at the bond volatility is 5. We're oscillating 20 times faster than treasury bills. We're oscillating 8 times harder than the S&P index. So we put this crypto reactor in the middle of the company. It makes the bonds very, very compelling. That allows the ARBs to do their thing, allows the fixed income guys to do their thing. But when we sell the bond, the spread for us is 70 to 80%, which means that 80% of the economics go immediately to our equity holders. And so the leverage in the bond for the Bitcoin maxis is extreme. We borrow $4.2 billion that's free, and we buy Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes up 50% a year, that means the 4.2 is going to double in 14 months or 18 months. So you've got 4 to 8 to 16 to 32. So there's $32 billion worth of leverage on the back end. We're only going to pay back the $4 billion of bonds, but we pay the $4 billion of bonds with $1.5 billion worth of equity at the time that we actually issue the bond. So the financial leverage is extreme, and the people that get that are the equity holders. So in essence, MicroStrategy is like a big crypto transformer, a Bitcoin transformer, high voltage Bitcoin, scary high voltage Bitcoin comes in the front. And then on one side, we step it up to be extreme high voltage. That's how you outperform NVIDIA. You go, double Bitcoin or 1.5 Bitcoin. And then we give everybody low voltage Bitcoin, safe Bitcoin, low risk Bitcoin, low volatility Bitcoin on this side.
Right.
And the irony of it is everybody's getting exactly what they want. And the people that are buying our bonds or our equity, in some cases, they wouldn't buy the spot ETF. But in many cases, they couldn't. Not only would they not, people are like, well, why don't they? They can't, they won't, they don't wish to. It's kind of like I have a 480 volt 3-phase power on that dock. It'll power up a 500-ton yacht. You're not going to plug it into your blow dryer. Right? Has to go through it. If you go to the back of my property, I have a massive transformer, massive, to step down the power, right? There's a lot of value in giving people, what they can consume. And there's someone that makes a living converting that power into batteries and selling you a little battery pack so you can put it into your kids' toys. And you know what the markup is? It's like a factor of 1,000 markups. Like, the power would be much cheaper if you took it off the dock. I'm like, yeah, well, if I plugged my little kids' toys into the dock, I would electrocute my kid. And so what we're doing is we're not electrocuting the traditional market. The traditional market can't handle Bitcoin.
Right.
It doesn't want 60% a year interest that's volatile. It wants 6% a year interest. By the way, that's only 10% of Bitcoin. If I give them the 6%, I get to keep the other 90%. And who gets that? My equity holders get it. What's the second best? There is no second best.